Hey Ryan, how are you doing tonight?
Oh, I am doing good. You're the biggest part of me.
Is that a line from Ambrosia? Is that what?
That's the title of the song. Yeah, just came
Okay.
up in my daily mix.
So this is take two on drafting games. We tried to live stream this the other night. It didn't work right. So we're gonna just talk again about what we already talked about and see if we have the same conversation. Um,
Definitely.
yep. So, all right. We're going to go in alphabetical order tonight because that's how I made the slideshow. Uh, so the first two games we're going to talk about. Do you know what the first two games alphabetically would be? I mean, one's already pulled up for you.
That starts with an S.
In on Board Game Geek, it starts with the number seven.
I was being purposely obtuse. I would say that we're talking about Seven Wonders and then the better version, Seven Wonders Duels.
Yeah. Yep, that's what we're going to talk about. So Seven Wonders came first, and it is a game where you have technology and science and military and all those things, and you're drafting cards and you're passing to the left and then passing to the right. And I think we said the
Because
other. Go ahead. Yeah.
I was just gonna say because we're talking about drafting games. I don't
Yeah.
know if we
Yeah.
mentioned that. Yeah, and then you've got the gold cards, and I think the gold cards are underrepresented. I really like the gold cards, and then you also have like your
Hmm.
victory point, straight victory point cards.
Yep.
Those are great too with a good economy. Like everybody's like science and military, and then a dash. But man, like those gold cards are just fun sometimes. Like, oh look, I
Yeah.
get like 20 gold.
And
I don't
then,
know, not in Seven Wonders. I don't know. I haven't played that in a long time.
well, and then you have your different culture things where, if you get the different types of technology and culture, right? That
What? And
there's different symbols
science.
like the agora and stuff like that.
Oh.
And if you get those different symbols, then you can get certain things. But that's harder
Oh
to
yeah,
get.
yeah, yeah. The build up, like the
Hmm.
freebies.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. That's
Yep.
always slick too when that happens.
But both of us, and we talked about this the other night, both of us haven't played this game as often because it's easier to get the other one to the table. Because Seven Wonders, the original one, definitely plays better at like five, and this one plays at two. Seven Wonders Duel, and with Seven Wonders Duel, you have the same thing where you have cards that are hidden and cards that you can kind of see that they're stacked if somebody hasn't played it before. The cards are stacked up, and then as they come up, you're able to see what's coming, and you have to make that hard decision of, do I want to take this card that I need, even though it might open up something soon for my opponent, and that gets especially dicey in the two-player game.
Man, and then in a two-player duel, um, the wonders that pop for an immediate another action,
Hmm.
man, those are slick because you're just like because your tempo is really important in that one, and so you're like if you can like manage that, you can really shenanigans other your opponents what they want to do, force them to buy the chaff that nobody wants.
Yeah, yeah.
Love it.
And
Did you know that Seven Wonders, the original version, has a two-player variant, and it's actually not bad? I've actually played a lot of that. I just recalled.
I've never played the two parent. I mean, that's probably how they came up with Seven Wonders Duel, right?
It's different. You have a floating third hand, um,
Okay.
and that one actually has like a weird depth to it because it has gold. So you'll
Hmm.
have it like on my turn, I'm controlling the dummy hand.
Hmm.
This turn, I forget exactly how it works, but you pass the control of the dummy hand. So you'll want to have the dummy hand purchase something
Hmm.
that they don't have the resources for, so that they have to buy them from you.
Okay.
And so you're trying to have the dummy hand draft cards that your opponent wants so that
Right.
they can't have them. And then also you want to bleed the dummy hand's bank so that your opponent can't like it was great. I actually really liked the two-player variant for OG Seven Wonders.
I mean, it's like a way of it's an AI like for a solo game, but for a two-player game. That's interesting. Um, that game back there, Merv, has something similar. It's really designed for 3 or 4 players. So if you want to play it at two-player, there's a dummy player that comes out and is part of it. I don't.
Yeah, I love
That's
it.
interesting. Yeah. Okay. So Seven Wonders and Seven Wonders Duel. We both like Duel better than the original,
Mhm.
but the original is a classic. Sold a bunch. I would
I
play it.
mean, the
Yeah.
reason that I don't like Seven Wonders as much as Duel is not because I don't have 5 friends.
Yeah. What's the reason?
I mean, I don't have 5 friends, but
Oh. Okay.
that doesn't account into it at all.
Uh, we talked about this one last time, and you surprised me among the stars with the fact that you didn't really like this game. It's not a big one for you.
Yeah, I won that at a raffle at Daycon in Dayton, Ohio. It's
Uh-huh.
probably still going on, probably not happening this year. Maybe it didn't happen last year. The guys that run it are great. It's a Stronghold game.
Yep.
I like Stronghold. I've met the president. I won at raffle. I was really excited. That weekend, I played another game that's going to be mentioned on our list with a buddy
Hmm.
of mine, and we played this. And we were both not really impressed with this. It felt a little bland. It was a couple of years ago, so I don't recall the
So you
deets.
you didn't open it up again since I mentioned it the other night.
No, because
Okay.
I didn't think we were going to re-record, so I just figured I'd lie to everybody and say that I would, and then don't. And now I'm on the spot, and everybody knows that I'm a big liar, and that's why I don't have 5 friends. No, yeah, it just felt flat. I will play it again if it's on. I don't think it's on Board Game Arena, um,
No, it's not. Yeah.
but I think it plays quick. Maybe I'll get my wife to play it. That probably won't happen. Um, Maybe I can get you to play it when we see each other in person.
Yeah, I'd definitely play it because I enjoy it. I think it has a good drafting. I like building the space station and all that. So, yeah, Among the Stars. A lot of people like it. You're not alone in saying you could leave it though. So, next one, Artsee. This is one you haven't played before. In it, you are building an art gallery where you want to have the most. Of course, now I forget the word. You want to have the most prestigious,
Prestige.
yeah,
Yeah.
prestigious art gallery, and as you do that, there's a face down deck of cards that have um, colors: yellow, red, green, and blue. And with the yellow, red, green, and blue, you know that you're going to get something that you either will look to your left or to your right to score things. And so you could score off your own gallery, or you could score off of somebody else's gallery who's to your left or right too. And so it has a very unique drafting element in that sense that your gallery is changing the whole time, everybody else's gallery is changing the whole time, and you can't just pay attention to what you're doing. You have to be aware of what everybody next to you is doing in order to really get that prestige. And it's a lot of fun. It's a quick little game, but it messes with your head. It's one of those that kind of messes with you as you play it.
Well, I will say in a previous conversation that I think got scrapped, we had talked about judging books by their cover
Uh-huh.
and reprinting, which we'll get into later. I've not seen the art for this until now, the cover art, and I definitely would pick that up. That looks like right up my alley for board game art.
Yeah, I really like the art. That's one thing I mentioned before is that for small box games with art, it has some really great art on it. So that's Artsy by Renegade. I don't even remember who designed it. I'll have to throw that up in the post edit later. So this is a abstract drafting game. Azul. There's 3 versions of it. There's this original, and then there came the stained glass of Sintra, and then not Sinatra, the singer, and finally Summer Pavilion. The first one, this one is my favorite, the original one, and then there's also Summer Pavilion is my second favorite. Some people like the second one, but going off of BGG, it seems like that's the least favorite. In any case, all 3 share this mechanic where you have factories that you are drafting or taking your tiles off of, and if you do that, it limits, or it might even hurt the other player. It can be a mean little game, especially this first one, because you might force them later on to take tiles that they don't want, because you're always going to be taking tiles until they're all gone, and you might have to get to a point where you have negative points with some of your tiles. So,
My kind of
Azul.
mechanic.
Yep. I mean, it plays well at 2, plays well at 3, plays well at 4. It's one of those games that just it does a good job of what it's doing.
Plays
And
well.
a lot of people used to play with starbursts and then eat the starburst afterwards. So, anything you want to say about it?
I would definitely draft pink, heavy, and yellow.
Yeah.
Those are my favorite Starburst colors.
I go back and forth with lemon, where there's days I love it, and then there's other days where I'm like, no, that's just as bad as the cherry.
Yeah, no, red's good, but
No,
I don't
red.
like to name them by flavors. I like to name
Okay.
them by colors.
I mean, that's fair because it's all synthesized flavor anyway. So.
Yeah, it's like when I want to get like a Gatorade. I want fruit punch. I want red. I like warm colors, Christopher, in my synthetic foods.
So you haven't played this one, but you've played the original.
Nope.
Right? No, you haven't played the original. You haven't played the. Okay.
I've missed it, unfortunately. I've played the other game that's like it.
The other game that's like it. So the game that came first was Castles of Mad King Ludwig.
Yeah, there's a game that's similar to Castles of Mad King Ludwig that doesn't use the same type of tiles but has similar mechanics.
Okay. You're gonna have to remind me of that. Anyways, so this one I think is an excellent 3-player game. It's in my top 3-player games, along with like Three Kingdoms and a couple war games and things like that. But this one, you are drafting which tile you want, and I guess we should be clear that the way we're using drafting tonight is the pick and pass. That if I pick it, then it's gone. So in this one, you are taking those, and you have to be aware, kind of similar to the Artsee. You have to be aware of what's going on beside you, because you're going to score the lowest castle that you have relative to people beside you too. It's a lot of fun. It's weird. But it's easy to learn. Yeah.
I like that box art. It reminds me of the Zach Galifianakis show.
Yeah. Why is that?
Just between two ferns, between two castles.
Oh gosh, that show's great. Yeah. Maybe I need another little mini palm tree. This is my little palm. I feed him coffee once a week and I'll only water him a tiny bit.
Never feed me coffee.
Well,
I come over there and it's just yellow Gatorade or blue Gatorades, and you know how I only like warm colors, and I'm making all this up. What is this up here right now? Is this my favorite game?
Is it your favorite game?
What all games?
I'm surprised you didn't put it in the background tonight. So tell us why, with specifics, why you love Blood Rage.
Okay, so Blood Rage is a drafting game, and I'm going to look at the camera this time. I usually don't. It's a drafting game, and that's what really allows you to explore the worker placement aspect of it. Because really, it's a Euro game with miniatures, and what you do is you get to hate draft your friends, which is always fun. But I can't look at the camera actually. My biggest love of the game is that the turns are over when everybody passes, or big asterisks when every area has been pillaged. And I have a solid strategy when I play that will always net me second place, never win. But it makes a lot of people angry. And I don't know, I don't really enjoy making people angry, but I enjoy dictating the flow of the game. I like to explore the mechanics.
Yeah.
And the only reason I lose is usually because it's because people realize how to stop me from doing it. And what I do is first round, and they do it because I'm ending turns early. And when I end turns early, I deprive people of being able to score victory points. And if they can't score victory points, then I have more points than them. And, it's just like in any other aspect of the game. You go to combat, somebody beats you at combat, they've derailed your plan.
Yeah.
The best way to do that is in first turn, pick Lord of Hammers, which isn't a very popular pick. And that allows you, after you pillage, to move your leader.
Mm-hmm.
So you pick Lord of Hammers, you get combat cards and whatever sauce you need. And then first action, play Lord of Hammers. Second action, deploy your leader. Third action, pillage, win. And then bump up your rage so you can take more actions.
Mm-hmm.
And then you move. And you want to move, you want to place away from everybody. So you're just like pillaging empty spots or even near people that you think aren't going to like win combat as much against you. And then you kill them. And then phase 2, you take Tyr's Prowess, which allows you to spend rage to increase your to keep combat cards. And combat cards aren't like heavily drafted by people, so you get like a couple of upgrades, usually stuff to let you run lean, and then you get combat cards, and then all you're doing is pillaging, which fills up your troop size and your rage bar and whatever that one was at the bottom that I forgot about. And then by the time, because usually at the end of turn 1, you're pillaging Yggdrasil, and everybody's like, well, I don't want to go into combat because he's probably going to win, but he's going to get the turn ends. So midway through turn 2, what happens is all the players turtle up on one spot, and then they don't let you ever in there to pillage. And then you misplay with a ship, and your ship's stuck on one side, and you've already placed it. You don't get the sea serpent. And then by phase 3, you're winning going in by like 20 points, and then you end up losing at the end of phase 3 by like 30 or 40 points because you didn't play a single quest the entire game. And that's why I love Blood Rage. I play other strategies. I just really, really like that strategy. And like, if I don't get it, I'm not going to be upset, and I'll play quests. I don't really play the Loki stuff, but that's what's great about it is like, you just, you get the cards, you draft, you can hate draft if you need to. And then if you see people are doing it, a lot of people are like, Blood Rage cheesy because of the Loki strategy. Well, just hate draft it, or block those people out of combat.
Yeah.
You can mitigate that so that they don't have a runaway win. I've never really had like Loki. I've heard that complaint echoed a lot. I've never had a player at our table win from the Loki strategy, from my guy's side strategy. That was a big tirade. Tyr's Prowess, Lord of Hammers, first and second. Yeah, it's great. It's great. What a beautiful game.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know I only played a couple of times with the guys. I don't know that any of them tried the Loki strategy when I played with them.
I think I'm going to spend $20 on the Humble Bundle. I think I just got to at this point.
Well, then we'll be able to play together. All right, so going from Blood Rage to Draftosaurus, like
also a very violent game. Look at that art; that is violent.
And let me make that a little bit bigger, just in case. So let me see here.
That dinosaur that's like going to Yellowstone and taking your selfie with a bison. You're just asking for problems. Ow.
In Draftosaurus, I mean, the gameplay and teaching and length, this is the opposite end of the spectrum. This one is accessible to kids, but adults like it too. You are putting your dinosaurs in pens. There's little board that you can flip to either side and use. I think there was even a promotional board too. In any case, it's a very simple game of what do I need where to get the most points, and you can see what your opponent needs, and you can block them from getting that. And we haven't even talked about this yet, but it is a way that you can hate draft even in a kid's game.
It has the die that you roll, so it dictates where you have to place. And then never reading the rule book, but playing it 3 times. It seems like you pick, and then you also delete or discard one.
Yes, yeah.
But there's only like 4 or 5 different dinos. There's a T-Rex. There's the
let's see. There's a long neck, sauropod, Stegosaurus, Pteranodon, which isn't a dinosaur, but yeah.
You tell that why are they on Dinosaur Train then?
I mean, they say that on Dinosaur Train that they're not everything on Dinosaur Train
I
is a
didn't pay that
tennis.
close attention.
Um, so and then did I say Stegosaurus? Okay, Triceratops, Stegosaurus, Sauropod, Pteranodon, and the T Rex. So there's five, and I was going with the term Deeples, and you were going with
Medinos,
Medinos,
my dinos,
my dinos,
because that
Medinos.
was a good discussion.
Yeah, versus meeples, which we said that term comes from my peoples, for worker placement, which Carcassonne popularized, um, although it wasn't the first. So yeah, Draftosaurus, it's fun. It's got
Medinos. You put your Medinos down, you discard a Medino,
your deeples. Yep.
your Deeples.
I'm just saying I'll call them deeples. You call them Medinos because
It's going to be really confusing at the table because you're going to be like, hey, can you hand me the Deeples? And I'm going to be like, what?
yep.
And then you're going to be Pteranodons aren't dinosaurs. And I'm
Yep.
going to be like, well, you tell that to Shiny and Tiny.
So here's a game you have not played. The reprint is coming. I've personally pre-ordered the reprint because I did enjoy the one time I got to play. This is more of an honorable mention because I don't know it that well. You've never played it.
Is this the
And
new art?
that is the original art.
Oh,
I don't know if they changed the artwork for the new one or not. You'd think I would have looked into it. I know that you judged a book by its cover and didn't want to play this game based on it.
no,
Um,
actually, I've realized I've never seen this game before.
okay, all right. So, so in it, you are ostensibly building a city, but really, uh, you're doing some drafting and building up your tiles. And again, I've only played it once. I'm looking forward to playing it again. It got crazy expensive for a while, so honorable mention for Ginkgopolis.
Before you,
Oh yeah,
well, I just
yeah.
wanted to bring up the fact that that dude has like a massive shovel
Uh huh.
and he just has like a leaf. Like I don't really know what he's like. He's not transplanting. He's not like
I think
like
he's admiring his ginkgo leaf. He's like, "This will give me the memory I need."
to remember why I'm carrying this giant shovel.
I mean, maybe
Like
he's
he's
had a
maybe he's
long day of planting, and now he's just admiring
admiring.
his wonderful ginkgo city.
I
I,
respect that. I
yeah.
like the art on this though. I think this is cute.
Okay.
I'd play this. I have
Inish.
played this.
Inish. This is the updated artwork. The original one is a bit brighter blue with more characters on the front, kind of the Gaelic look to it. And it is an area control. You're making important decisions when you get to the drafting the cards, and they are cards that you're drafting in this game. And it's one of those where you really wonder, do I want to keep this, or if I keep this, I'm going to pass off something that my opponent needs, and it makes those difficult decisions happen in the game in such a way that um, you feel invested. So,
Yeah,
Inish.
I've played this. I don't recall it. I remember playing it.
Yeah. You want to tell why you don't recall it? When did you play this game?
I played this at Sin City Con, I believe, during
Mhm.
the design competition, and I think we started at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
And I was pretty tired throughout the whole process, but I liked it. And now that I look at it, I just want to call it In Excess. Man, I listened to a lot of that a couple months ago,
All right.
but I did enjoy it. I'd love to play it again. Do you own it, Christopher?
I do not currently. It was really hard to get for a little bit. So Asmodee is acting as the distributor on this now. Um, so it's a Madagot game. It might be easier to get now. I'll have to look into it.
It's not
I
a priority
I
for
would
for
definitely
me.
look into it again. I had friends that owned it, and I got to play it a few times, and it was one of those games that um, just took a little bit longer to play, and so that's why I haven't prioritized it yet. But I enjoyed it.
More of a draftosaurus type of guy. I get it.
Not always, you know that. All right, Jaipur. What do you want to say about Jaipur?
I really like Jaipur. I probably mentioned this before, even the deleted episode. My
So
buddy,
yeah, go
mhm.
ahead.
Yeah. Jaipur's a great drafting game. You're man, I haven't played it in a while, so I can't really describe it because I'm gonna end up jacking it up. You go
Two-player
ahead.
game where you want to. You're not going to win in one go around. You have to win once, win again, and then if you're playing best of 3, you've won. If you're playing best of 5, you have to go and win again. But you are getting things like spices and silk and things like that on your camels, and you have camel tokens too, and you can use all those to turn them in and get points throughout the game.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I was looking for a 2-player game. My buddy let me borrow his first edition, and we played it. Me and him played it a lot. He's the one that I played Among the Stars with.
Okay.
And then I took it home, played it with my wife, and she just blew me out. And then I brought it back to the shop to play him, and like used her strategy, and then I just blew him out because I was like, dude, my wife's like out of control in this game. And then we played, but it's all about tempo, just like Seven Wonders Duel.
Right.
It's a kind of like, if you can control when to grab cards, when to clear the stack, then you can kind of dictate how the game goes, and the other person's just kind of picking up the scraps as you're getting all the choice stuff. And yeah, it's really, I love it. I love getting raffle stomped like that.
Yep.
But sorry, yeah, that's the second printing too.
Yeah, that is the second printing, and so it's been good enough that they wanted to print more of it.
I like the first printing better.
Oh, really? The second printing did come with a little coin for the first player marker. Jaipur, Medieval Academy. This one has kind of disappeared. It was a really popular game for a while. I still like it. I still think it teaches people who are unfamiliar with some of the drafting mechanic. It teaches that mechanic well. It's bright. It's colorful. The artwork I could take or leave, and this is where we talked about, like, I wouldn't mind seeing Yellow, the company that put this out, come back with an updated second edition, like Sheriff of Nottingham got its reskin. I wouldn't mind seeing this one get reskinned and getting some more love again, because I think it's a solid drafting game.
And make it darker.
Yeah, sure.
Yellow pumping up dark games. Not happening.
No,
they're like they're like the kid friendliest franchise or group publisher for games that are not necessarily kid games. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No,
they're like solidly in the middle ground of like excessive, like your kids are just old enough to start getting out of whatever they're playing.
Yeah, no, they're very, very family friendly. Wait, or if you don't have a family, if just friendly, and you like lighter games, that's okay. Sometimes I am okay saying sometimes I just want to play a lighter game. I don't want to play a terribly complex game. So, what were you gonna say?
No, nothing. I just really like Yellow as a publisher. I still have to play their. They have a, and it doesn't matter. It's like what? They have a chit game. I think it's them, Flying Pig or Iron Pig Studios. It's a French company, and I think they teamed up with Yellow to do Heroes Over Normandy.
Okay,
that's what it's called. And then they have a variant that's Lovecraftian. It's at your brother-in-law's house. I think the copy of Seven Wonders at your brother-in-law's house is mine, or one of the expansions is mine. I just buy games, and then if I play them pretty much exclusively with him, I just leave them at his house. There's like a few games over there that are mine. Ours. That's 3 friends. I don't have 5 friends. I have 3. And they either have my name or your name.
Morels is another game that we've both enjoyed a lot. Neither one of us currently owns, so we're gonna have to play it again. It was out of print and hard to find for a little while. It is easy to find again, or at least was last time I looked. So, 2-player game. What else do you want to say about it?
I really liked it. I don't recall any how to play.
I don't remember a lot either, other than I really liked it, and now I'm hungry for Morels.
Yeah, I've never eaten a Morel.
What?
Well,
oh my goodness!
We had some. We had some. What are they called? Oyster mushrooms growing in the backyard, and my wife wouldn't let me eat them.
Well, that's very different. There's so many different kinds of oyster mushrooms.
No, I identified these. These were oysters. I got an app. I'm in mushroom foraging groups.
Yeah, but there's okay. Never mind. We're gonna go on. Tom Lehman. we've been talking about this one. We chose this one over Race for the Galaxy, even though technically Race for the Galaxy could be considered kind of a drafting game. This has a drafting version. I think it's much better with the drafting version. This is Res Arcana. You are a mage of some type. On the front, looks like we have the duelist and the witch and the
Druid and
druid.
the seer
Yep, the
and
seer and the transmutationist, or whatever she's called, in the middle there. You can turn stuff into stuff,
I don't
and
know.
that's the main thing in the game. But this game is so much better with its drafting. It makes it really fun. You get to plan out or hate draft, keep stuff from people, and give them junk.
And you see
Yeah.
what's rounded, man. You know, you're playing it, and you see that you're giving dragons to people, and you see that they're not coming back. So, what I like about it is it's what 8 cards. You've got 2 mages at the beginning. After you draft your deck, you pick which mage you want.
Yep.
And so, like, I might be drafting to kind of support a necromancer build. But lo and behold, I have let go a lot of dragons because I'm not really interested in dragons. So I take the healer, and I'm
And
just
then I
like,
hand you the wind up man.
yeah. And then you get the wind up man, and you trash him for 1 gold so that you can buy a monument.
Yep.
Yeah, it's got a lot of versatility and replayability. Even if you had like the exact same deck 2 games in a row, the fact that you draw different magic items at the end of every round.
Yep.
It plays quick, only plays 10 VPs, and it's got shenanigans in there, which I like. It gives you that fun explorative feeling of like Magic the Gathering without the heavy investment.
And I never really thought about it, but really you could consider that it's not really drafting, but it feels similar the way you get to pick your magic items when you pass between rounds. Because you can really cut somebody off with what they need if you see what they're doing.
Yeah, like and I can even, if I can extend my turn out a little bit longer and force you to pass first, I can deprive you of something twice.
Yep.
You know, you really want to get reanimate the magic item. I grabbed it first. Well, guess what? Now that I have reanimate, I can take 2 additional actions because reanimate allows you to untap something. So 1 action to untap something, another action to use whatever I untapped, and you might have ran out of actions to take, and now I've deprived you of something that you want twice. Not that that's like
it can make a difference. It can make all the difference. It's usually a pretty tight game in terms of scoring. So, yep.
I just don't want people to think like my whole MO in playing games is doing things to prevent my opponent from doing what I need to do. But you don't win games by just doing the best that you can. We talked about this in the deleted episode.
Well,
it's like playing pool. Half of it is making your shots, and the other half is making it so your opponent can't make their shots as easily.
But let's be clear. There are whole Euro games, and some people would only consider a Euro game if you can only do that. If you're really only playing a solitaire game.
Yeah.
So
I mean, and that's why I like Keyflower and Castles of Burgundy, because they feel very Euro-ish because you're just building your engine by yourself, but you get to mess around with other people, and it's like a deeper level of play, and that's part of the joy. It's not like being very exclusionary and playing by yourself in a multiplayer game. Is a strategy in some games, but in every game that we've talked about this evening, not so much.
Yeah, I don't think
drafting inherently opens up the opportunity to not only do what you need to do, but to prevent your opponent from doing what they want to do.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, with all these games, I don't think that this type of drafting would exist and be that type of Euro. So, anyways, Sagrada. Sagrada is based thematically on the Sagrada Familia in Barcelona, which is a cathedral that it's very. Some people think. I think it's very beautiful. Some people think it's an ugly stain on the skyline, but I like it. It's got pretty little dice. You're always going to take double the number of players. So in a 4-player game, 8 plus one, and you're going to draft those dice and then use a die to mark your round you're on. In a 4-player game, you'll use every dice that is in the bag. I like how it works. I like the puzzle to it. I like the fact that you are working through it. And yeah, anything you want to say about it?
It's got too many dice. I've never played it.
Too many dice. Okay. Um,
I saw it one time and I was like, wow, that's a lot of dice.
Game rights, Sushi Go. And if I remember right, I think this is by Scott Alms, who has done a bunch of other really fun games. I could be getting that completely wrong, but I'll have to look up the designer later. But Sushi Go, really fun little pick and pass card game. I mean, it literally has pick and pass in the name. So the only reason I still have my card version versus the dice version is I haven't given my card version away. I'll probably give my card version away to somebody at some point and get the dice version because I just like the feel of the chunky dice and rolling them and having them on the little menu. It's nice, and um, also the cards always get all over in the box no matter what I do. I should probably like
Foam
put a
core insert.
yeah, something, put something in there. But it is also a tin. It's a metal tin instead of an actual box.
Those are cute, but also just like putting those on your game shelf, you're just like, oh, there's not really a good spot. It has to go on top or
Yeah,
sideways, and yeah,
which I don't mind that necessarily. It's just the fact that like you move it at all, and always the cards always go
yeah.
all over. So Sushi Go, really fun, easy to teach, a lot of fun. It's a game you could play anywhere, when restaurants and everything open back up, or at somebody's house. You could take it over, teach it. Plus, it's
Mhm.
cute sushi. You like to eat cute sushi, right?
Yeah, totally fish. I do.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else you want to say about it?
No, I haven't played it in a long time. I did enjoy it. It is cute. It sells itself, like it's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
it's accessible, it's fun, it's easy.
Yeah. So this one, similar to Res Arcana, you can play it without the drafting variant. You have played. I have not played it that way. I don't think I would want to play it without drafting. I think that
Me
be,
neither.
because the way the cards go and the way that leads to player interaction, I think that Terraforming Mars just becomes a better game.
Now, is
With
this background image on this? Is this new artwork for Terraforming Mars? Because that looks like Mars, but it looks it's not red. So are they?
there is red in
Is,
there,
is
but
there?
like
But it's not like red like the red planet. Is this new artwork for the board game that they're doing?
that
This where the
is
oceans are coming up.
a picture from NASA because today oh no, I'm gonna forget the name of it. The rover landed today on Mars. We watched it for like 2 hours. Yeah, I'm just this. That's me celebrating the red
Yeah,
planet
and this
and
is
science.
this is me being purposely obtuse again.
Yep, I know.
Um,
So, anything you want to say about Terraforming Mars?
I really like Terraforming Mars. The hate drafting people is expensive because what's it like 3 mil to keep a card? Well, I guess you get to pitch them.
Yeah, you can just pitch them. Yeah, you can
Yeah,
just take them and pitch them. You see somebody needs something, or that they're building a certain engine,
you're
keep
like
it
whoop,
and just trash it. And they're like, "Why did you take that?" So
man.
you could have it. Yep.
I've played with like 2 expansions before, and
Hmm.
man, I have this bad habit when I play like really expansive games
Hmm.
of just like ignoring stuff, like certain
Yeah.
aspects of the game because it's just like too much. Like I'm not going to create anything well rounded because I'm not trying to keep track of all of that. But I
No,
do really enjoy the game.
that's how you should play this game. Like
Yeah,
if you come to this game and you're trying to do everything, you will lose. You will not get too many points.
that's
So
probably why I've never lost them
yeah.
because I'm like
Ter-
I'm not doing all that. No, I'm kidding. I probably have lost.
So you got to play this game with me the first time the other night when
Mhm.
things went awry. It wasn't a great experience, but
It
um,
happens.
I really enjoy this game. I included it even though it's not strictly drafting, but there are cards that progress the history in the game. So as you play the game, they're moving to the left, and you either have to take them or they're just going to go out of the game. And you can also see what's coming, and it might be more expensive for you. But like I could have. as I was teaching you the other night, I could have blocked you from getting any good upgrades for your not your farm.
Minerals,
Yeah,
my
your minerals.
minerals.
Yeah,
Yeah.
your resources.
You didn't need to. I just had a uprising that prevented me from getting them myself.
So you were you were hate drafting
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, that's why I included it, because even though it was your first game, you saw those types of mechanics in play that
Yeah.
you could totally block somebody from getting what they need in order to progress their
Paying a pretty
civilization.
penny to do it in some ways, because you only get a set amount of actions, and grabbing like a card that's high up the line is a chunk of those actions, 2 or 3. I don't think there was any 4 cost civilization actions.
No.
It was like 1, 2, 3, or yeah. So
Right. Yep.
no, that was a really cool game. I look forward to playing it again now that I have a better understanding of it. Board game arenas, I really like for, like, I just started playing it recently,
Mhm.
and I really like it for like learning games and teaching games too.
It goes a lot faster. Like, we didn't have to clean that game. Takes half an hour plus to set
Yeah.
up, and again half an hour plus to put
Well,
away.
the in the last episode when you brought it up, you're like, "Have you ever played it?" And I was like, "I've opened literally at CincyCon in Cincinnati, not to be confused with Sin City Con. They have a 100, 200 board game library, and I've gotten it out twice to play it. Like, yeah, we'll play this, and then I open it up, and I'm like, nope, no way. I love this game.
So here is Tides of Time and its sibling, Tides of Madness, that I'm going to throw over here too. Tides of Time came first, I believe. It's a 2-player drafting game that works really well. And Tides of Madness, you can also get these Madness tokens because it's the ultimate free IP, right? Cthulhu.
Yep.
What do you want to? You and I have played together. We both own our own copies, so we obviously enjoy it a lot. What do you want to say about it?
Oh, it's a great 15-minute game, 2-player, 3 turns. It's elegant. The drafting is really good because you're picking passing, and every card that is drafted, except for maybe one, I don't remember, is played. So like almost every card's played. So as you get your hand, pick your card, and you pass back, 2/3 of what your opponent's doing.
Right.
You've seen every card but one, and the fact that you get to pick one card that you've played each round to stay in play, representing like the Tides of Time. So it's got like good theming, cool art, and it's just elegant. It's just like a really nice, quiet. It's not exciting. It's just it's enjoyable experience of gaming.
Yep. And small table space, you can play a bunch of different places easily.
Yeah.
And our last honorable mention here is It's a Wonderful World. You have a fat stack of cards in this game that you draft and pass. And again, you have to make a bunch of decisions related to those cards. I've only played this once. You haven't got to play it yet. It was hard to find for a little while because it was such a highly anticipated game. So we wanted to mention it, but we're not well informed on it, so we're not going to talk about it more. Another
I'm
one
not well informed on a lot of things, Christopher.
mentioned was Seasons, but neither one of us enjoyed Seasons a whole lot, even though it has the drafting mechanic in it. So that's where we'll end. So started with Seven Wonders, went all the way to It's a Wonderful World, drafting mechanics. Good
You know what
conversation.
makes it a wonderful world is all the wonders. It's a wonderful world, 7 wonders,
I mean, I did like the artwork on this game, like that alone.
Yeah, I've never seen it before. It looks cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So let us know your favorite drafting mechanics in games, pick and pass. On Board Game Geek, it is a huge category. People tend to throw a lot of things in there. We're more talking about the pick and pass, but let us know your favorite drafting games. Thanks for.
And feel free to include Magic the Gathering. That one, man. That's the only way I play Magic now is drafting, and by that I mean I don't play Magic at all right now. But if somebody was like, "Hey, man," in the future, like, you want to go draft pot of Magic or two, like, $15. And if they buy their packs back, like the store does, I love that.
Yeah, that can be a fun night. So.
Yeah, man. I always sell my cards back when I get done drafting, but I love drafting. So
It can make for a great night. Cool. Well, thanks for talking, Ryan, and we'll talk again soon about games.